Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Abhay and we are covering the AJ900, that is Azure Cloud Fundamentals. Till now, we have covered a lot of topics like what is cloud and what is the benefit of the cloud. Then we talked about the Azure basic things like what is Azure architecture. Then we talked about the what are the basic services that we have to learn in the Azure. So till now, like we have seen the basics things. In this particular video we are going to cover the Azure networking. Okay, so there are few topics that we have to cover under this section that is important as per the exam. Okay, so these topics are Azure virtual networks. Okay, the virtual networks. Then we have the Azure load balancer. Then we have content delivery network. Then we will talk about what is Azure DNS, and then what is this NSG, network security group. Then we will talk about the difference between the peering VPN and express route. Okay, so these are all the topics that I have write it down as per the exam. So we will understand each one by one. So before starting, I am requesting you all guys to like and subscribe my channel. I am hoping at least 1,000 subscriber this year. And also, before starting, you can download this PDF from the description of this video. I will add the link. Okay, so that you can directly access this complete PDF. If you don't have the time to watch this whole video, then you can directly check out the PDF. Okay, so let's start and let's understand first like what is networking. Let me move to the next slide. Okay, this is just a portal demo I will give. But yeah, so first let's understand what is this Azure Virtual Network and even what is network. Okay, so uh, you can think a network like your home Wi-Fi network. Okay, at your home, like when your Wi-Fi connects your laptop, phone, and TV and printer, so that they can talk to each other securely. Similarly, in a Azure, we have the virtual network that connects cloud resources like a virtual machine, databases, and apps so that they can communicate safely. Okay, the safely. So the main purpose of having the network, virtual network, is to apply some safety. Okay, because when we create any resources on the Azure like app service or any database service or a virtual machine, that is by default like that is hosted on the public network. Okay, they have the public IP addresses. So if you want to restrict that particular thing, how you then what we can do, we can create one virtual network. One we can create one virtual network there, like we will put our all the services, all the database services, virtual machines, so that all the services comes under one virtual network and then they can communicate in between. Okay, like if the app want to access the database, then it can easily access the database if it is already in that particular network. Okay, by the definition, a virtual network is a private network inside your Azure where your cloud resources can securely communicate with each other over the internet. Okay, so basically, uh, if you have the one application and you have one database, then that application is interacting with the database. So if you want to implement some security, okay, in terms of the networking, then what you will do when you have the database, like currently like it is in the public network. Okay, because it have some public IPs, so anyone can access that, right, if they have the authentication, and even if hacker will access that. Okay, so that is because that is the public IP. Okay, so that is more easy way, easily like they can hack. So what you will do, you will create one virtual network, you will put that particular database service in that particular network. Okay, so right now in that particular network you have only database. Okay, then your application is outside that network. Then if that application will try to connect to that particular database, then this time it will fail. Okay, like they will not interact. So what you can do, you can also place your application inside that virtual network. So whatever you have, you can create one natural network and you can place all your things in the virtual network. So like that way, they can be isolated from the outside world. Okay, like once you put everything in your network, they are isolated from the public network. I hope you understand what is this virtual network, okay, and why we are creating this. We are creating only to implement the safety of your all the services. Okay, for an example, if you create two virtual machines in the same virtual network, they can talk to each other privately, just like two computers connected to the same Wi-Fi. Okay, once we create the virtual network on the Azure portal, that virtual network will have the dedicated IP address. Okay, so when we create this virtual network, that virtual network itself has some dedicated IP addresses. Okay, and when we move our app service or database service inside that particular virtual network, then that database service have some private IP now. Okay, but still, when we create the virtual machine, then that virtual network sorry repeat when we create the virtual network, so that virtual network can also be divided into some different parts. That parts we call at a subnet. Okay, so for our understanding, the virtual network can be divided into a multiple subnets. Okay, now imagine, let's understand what is this subnet. Now imagine your home is big and you wants to separate rooms, one for the family, one for the guest, and one for the office work. Okay, so this all separate thing, separate rooms, you can consider that as a subnet. Okay, your whole house is a virtual network, and each separated room is behave as a subnet. By the definition, a subnet is like a separate room inside your virtual network. It divides the virtual network into a smaller sections so you can organize and control resources better. Example, you can create one subnet for the web servers, like for your APIs for virtual machine, and one subnet you can create for the databases services. Okay, that this help you to control traffic and improve security. Okay, so like that way, like if you create multiple subnets, and if you put multiple services in that subnet, in that way, like you can manage your traffics. Okay, like which service have uh, they have all different IPs. Okay, so it will help you to organize the uh, calls. Okay, traffics. Also, like it can also improve the security, because once all the services are in the virtual network, okay, they can access each other. Okay, but if you also push them into the subnet, if you insert that particular service in the subnet, then you can also configure the rule to allow access only to few subnets. Okay, that we are going to cover in this next slide. Okay, now like we can also do security on the subnet level. First, let's understand what is this network security group, NSG. This keyword is also important, like sometimes in the exam, like they will ask what is this NSG and what it will do. Okay, so let's understand. For our example, now imagine your house as a room we consider as a subnets, but you don't want everyone to enter every room, right? Because when you have some private room, and if the guest is coming, then you don't want guest to go in the private room. Okay, so like that way you can also think in a subnet. Okay, like if you have multiple subnets, and if you want that some subnets are private, like I don't want everyone to go in that particular subnet, that rule you can configure. Okay, and how you will configure that rule using the NSG, network security group. So you put security rule on the door, who can enter and who cannot. A NSG works like that security guard or a door rule in an Azure. So okay, so you can consider this NSG is kind of a rule, that rule like who can access that particular subnet. By the definition, NSG is a security rule set that control incoming and outgoing traffics in the virtual networks. Okay, so whatever is incoming and outgoing calls is happening inside a virtual networks, that you can decide you can set using a NSG. Okay, how NSG work? Like NSG contain a list of security rules that allow or deny traffics based on the source IP address, destination IP address, port number, or protocol. Okay, so basically, if someone wants to access your virtual network or a particular subnet, okay, and you want that this, but if you can set the rule there, like they can some specific IP addresses, like they cannot access your website or your data. Okay, like so let me give you one more example so that you will understand what is this network and how like we implement the security. Suppose we are in India, okay, and we created one website, but we don't want that website to accessible outside of the India. Okay, anyone can in India can access that website, but you don't want any people outside India, they don't have access to your website. Okay, like you want such condition like कि वो लोग हमारी एप्लीकेशन को एक्सेस ना कर पाए. If someone is in the Pakistan, like you don't want them to access your website, then you can configure such rule using the network security group NSG. Okay, so you create the virtual network, you place all your services, database services, app service, virtual machine, whatever you are creating, that you can put all the services in your virtual network. Then you can set the rule at the virtual network level that I don't want Pakistan people or United States people to access my services. Okay, so when they are not in the India network, like they will not going to use your virtual network. Okay, so that such kind of a rule you can implement based by the NSG. Okay, so I hope you are understanding like by what is the requirement of this NSG. Okay, this is just one example I gave you, but it may vary. Okay, industry into industry, like whatever you are doing project, like it might vary, like uh, to implement any rule. Okay, so if you want to implement any rule, you can use the NSG. Okay, so first you create the virtual network, then you have the subnet, then you apply the NSG rule. Okay, based on the NSG rule you control the traffic. Okay, that's the flow. Okay, I hope you understand. And these 4 points: source IP address, destination IP address, port number, port protocol. Okay, based on these we can apply the rules. So this you can remember, this can be helpful for the exam. Let's move to next and let's see what we have. Okay, this public IP and private IP. I hope like, you already understand this, what is public and private IP. When you are creating any resources, by default, like it is in the public network, so it have some public IP. Okay, even in your laptop, when you check your IP, when you check your IP on your laptop and you are connected to the Wi-Fi, then you will see the IP address of your laptop, and that is a public IP. Okay, but when you created the virtual network and you move all your services to that particular private sorry virtual network, okay, then uh, you will get the private IP addresses. Okay, so by the definition, a private IP is used for the communication inside the virtual network. Okay, so inside that virtual network, like you will get the private IP. Even when you are shifting your database service inside your virtual network, you will get the private IP, and that app will also have the public IP, but that using that public IP, like no one can access that particular resource. Okay, so only using the private IP, the other services will going to call the database. So here it is safe for the internal communication. Okay, so as per the name, like if it is a private, then means like it is more secure. If your server talks to the database server using a private IP inside the same virtual network, this is one example. Then we have the public IP. Public IP is used to access a resource from the internet. Okay, if it is a public IP, then we can access anywhere from the internet. Okay, it can accessible publicly. User access your website using the public IP of your virtual machine. A private IP always belongs to the virtual network, and the public IP can be attached to a virtual machine, load balancer, or app to make it accessible from the internet. So the flow becomes like this. Okay, virtual network, then we have the subnet, then we have the private IP, and in the public IP, like it can allow internet access to the resources. Okay, let me move to next. Database plus networking option example. Okay, let's understand what is this. In Azure SQL database network setting, you will see public network. Okay, that we can check directly on the portal. Let me move to the portal. Okay, yeah. So basically, this is your SQL server. Okay, this I created. Okay, just for testing purpose. Okay, so if you go in the networking section, okay, there like we have the networking section in the left side. Okay, if you see, this is the networking sector. It is coming under security. Okay, networking. Then in the networking, we have three options: public access, private access. Then we have the connectivity. So if you see in the public access, we are seeing the multiple options. Like here, we can disable the public access. Okay, currently like it is not disabled. Okay, so anyone can access that particular SQL server if they have the proper authentication method. Okay, but if I make it disabled, then this particular server cannot be accessed through a public IP. Okay, so if it is a selected network, then this can be accessible using a selected network. Okay, so here like I can configure a virtual network also in the public network, and there like I can add my IP. If I add my IP, then from my laptop I can suppose like this is my IP. Okay, this is my laptop IP4 and IP5. Okay, if I copy this particular IP and if I paste here, okay, if I paste here, then if I save this, then what will happen, I can access this particular server from my laptop. Okay, then similarly like we have the private access. There like we can create a private endpoint. So after creating the private endpoints, like we will see the private endpoint, and using that private endpoint I can access. Okay, my application or something I can access, but maybe when we I enable the private access, I cannot access from my system. Okay, from my laptop I can access. I hope you understand all these 3 points. Like in the SQL server, like we have not just in the SQL server, any service like we have such options: public access, private access, and connectivity. Connectivity, I'm not sure. Like, I think this is newly added. Okay, or maybe like I didn't go that much in depth. Okay, it is here. Like we can maybe configure some rule or something. Okay, and we when we talked about the NSG. Okay, also you can create NSG from maybe here. Yeah, if you see, we have the network security group. There you can create one network security group, and there you can uh, create your rule based on your requirement. You can create the rule and you can implement the security. Okay, and also you can create the virtual network first. Okay, if you search here virtual network, virtual network. Okay, so here on the Azure portal you can also create a virtual network. Once you create the virtual network, then you can navigate your resources to that particular virtual network. Okay, I'm not giving you the complete demo. Okay, like I'm not doing any uh, implementation here. Okay, because that is just theory course. Okay, agent 900, that's why. But if you want to see this by like how we create all the things and how we move all the resources to the virtual network, how we are creating the app service, how we are creating the database services. Okay, so for that you can check out my other playlist on this channel. Okay, I will cover all the topics like how we can create all the resources. Okay, so you can check out that particular videos. Okay, let me move to my PPT. Yeah, so let me move to the next slide. Okay, so there are three more terminologies that we have to understand, like that is virtual network peering, uh, VPN gateway, and the express route. Okay, these three are the terms that generally like they will ask question regarding these in the exam. Okay, and generally, like, they will ask the comparison between these three. Okay, like they will put up some question and they will ask like, which one will you choose out of these three. Okay, so let's understand what is the purpose of this, all these three. Okay, suppose you created the virtual networks on the Azure, and it might be possible that uh, mm, your application is not hosted on the Azure. Okay, your application is hosted somewhere else, maybe in the AWS, or uh, maybe in your on-premises data centers, or maybe it is available on only in the Azure. Okay, and everywhere you have the networks. Okay, you have the virtual network, you have the virtual network in the on the Azure, you have the virtual network somewhere else, and you have the virtual network on your on premises. Okay, so when you have separate virtual network and still you want to connect the services between these networks, then how you can do that? You can do that using these three methods. The first one is peering, the second one is VPN gateway, the third one is express route. So let's see the definition. The virtual network peering will connect the two Azure virtual machine networks directly. Okay, if you on the Azure portal, if you have the two separate virtual network, and if you want to connect those two virtual network, then you can use the feature virtual network peering. Okay, so this is purely the Azure to Azure communication. Oh, sorry. Okay, so this peering, using peering, you can connect two virtual networks. Then we have the VPN gateway. What it will do, it will connect your on-premises network to your Azure securely over the internet. Okay, if you have the our network over the on-premises data center and you have virtual network on the Azure, if you want to connect these two virtual network, then you can use the VPN or you can use the express route. But there is a catch. If you are connecting two different virtual network using a internet, okay, one network is on premise and one is Azure. Okay, if you are connecting these two over the internet, then you can use the VPN gateway. If you are connecting these two on premises and Azure using a physical cables, okay, physical cable, not the internet, using the physical cable, then you can use the express route. Okay, so I hope you understand all these three. The main purpose of all three here is to connect to virtual network. If your all the network is present on the Azure, then you can use the peering. Okay, because it can connect to virtual network directly on the Azure. Okay, so you don't have to do anything, you can just create the peering. And if your virtual network are separate, is not on the Azure, okay, and if you want to connect to the Azure, then you can use a VPN gateway and express route. Okay, so that is the purpose, main purpose. Then let's check other columns. Then we have the connection type, and that is the Azure backbone network, private low latency. Okay, so yeah, so how it connect to virtual machine. Okay, that's what we are going to understand. So this is the Azure backbone network. Okay, so this is how Azure handle it. Okay, internally, like it is handling internally. Okay, that we don't have to. Okay, because this is just a Azure to Azure connection. So it is having the low latency. Okay, latency means like it will connect fast. Okay, then in the VPN, like it is connected to the encrypted VPN tunnel over the public network. Okay, you created the public network connections over the internet, but you encrypt the message. Okay, because it is connected over the internet, so you have to encrypted the message. Okay, but in the express route, you will create your the physical lines. Okay, private dedicated physical connection you have to create. Okay, use case, connect Azure virtual network within the same or different regions, and the use case of the VPN gateway is to secure remote access from on premises to Azure over the internet. Okay, you if you want to secure something, and if you don't want to put something on Azure, you just want to store that particular thing on premises. Okay, but so you can connect on premises and Azure using a VPN gateway. Okay, high throughput, low latency, secure private connections for the enterprise workloads. Okay, performance, this is very high because this is Azure to Azure. Okay, so Azure will handle it. So this is high speed, low latency. And then VPN gateway is a dependent on the internet quality. Okay, like what a kind of internet you are using and can have the latency. Okay, so this can have the latency because it is connecting over the internet. Then in the express route, it is having the high speed. Okay, very high speed. So if in the question, like if they ask out of all these three, which one is fast, okay, so you have to select the express route because express route is a very fast because it is connected to through a cables. Okay, physical cables. So physical cables are always fast, okay, as compared to the internet. Then security, this peering is a secure, okay, because it is happening within the Azure. Then in the VPN gateway, it is connected over the internet, but we have to encrypt the data. Okay, so like this is how like we enforce the security. Okay, but in the express route, we are not encrypting the message because like that is a private connection. Okay, it is connected through the physical cable. Okay, so that's why like this is also secured. If we talked about the cost, okay, then in this peering, like we don't have that much cost because we are not spending on the physical thing. Okay, we are not spending on the physical cables. Okay, so it is just Azure will handle that. Okay, so in when we are creating the peering, like we generally get the lower cost. Then in the VPN, like this is also not cost you that much because this is also connected over the internet. Okay, it is depend on the data transfer, like how much data you are transferring. Based on that, like cost may vary. Okay, but in the express route, like the cost will be very expensive. Okay, because for this, like you have to due to the dedicated circuits and provided fees. Okay, you have to put physical things now, so that's why like the cost is very expensive. Okay, even like this is not just like if you are using the opta using the express route, so you have to build a whole pipeline, whole physical things. You don't have to. Azure will do that for you. Okay, but that option is you have to select. Okay, like which option you wants to go with, whether the VPN gateway or express route. Okay, but Azure will handle it. I hope you understand all the difference between these three. Okay, this is a very important based on the exam. Let's move to the another topic with that is Azure load balancer. I am hoping like you are understanding my topics. Okay, if you have any doubts, you can put the comment on this video. And if you have anything related to my video, like if my voice is not that much clear or something I have to improve, okay, that you can also give the feedback. Okay, because this is the initial phase of my teaching. Okay, like I am just started teaching. Okay, so it might be possible that in many places I didn't inform you properly. Okay, so I am trying my best. Okay, but if you can put any feedback, that can be helpful. Okay, I will try to improve based on your comment. Okay, so now let's understand what is this Azure load balancer. So basically, like when you are creating any basic resource or something, okay, that time like you don't have to go for the load balancer. Okay, by the name, if you see load balancer, okay, like this is this is you have encounter when you are building such huge application. Okay, not the some application like they are the users are huge. Okay, like their like traffics are very high. Okay, so at that time like we have to use the load balancer. But let's understand what it will do. By the definition, it will Azure load balancer distribute traffic across multiple servers to avoid the overload. Okay, distributes incoming network traffics across multiple Azure regions resources. In real life, in real life, imagine uh, three employees answering customer calls. Okay, we have and the customer calls, like there are three people and handling calls. Okay, but instead of sending all call to the one person, calls are divided equally. Okay, then that's what the load balancer does with the servers. So let me give you example, more better example. Suppose you have a website. Okay, there 100 user accessing that website on a daily basis. Okay, and on the daily, like they 100 user came to your website and they perform some task and they log off from your website. This is the normal scenario. Okay, but it might be possible that on some festival or Diwali or something. Okay, instead of 100 users, it might be possible the 1,000 user may uh, come to your website. Okay, 1,000 user may come to your website, they will perform some actions. Okay, even the 1,000, even it can be anything, right? It can be a 10,000, it can be a 1 lakh users came to your website at a single same time. Okay, if they came all at the same time, then the server will be overwhelmed, like server get lot of calls, lot of traffics. Okay, and if we not handle that calls properly, if we not handle that traffic properly, then that server will going to crash. Okay, otherwise, like it will, or it might be possible that the response will become very very slow. Okay, so in order to secure the server, okay, or not the secure, but in order to handle the request properly over the server, we have the load balancer. Okay, so what load balancer will do, suppose in one server we are getting the 1,000 call. Okay, so what load balancer do, load balancer it divide the all the requests, like from 1,000, it might be possible it will divide 200 request, 200, 200, 200, and it will pass the 200 request to the other servers. Okay, if other servers are free, suppose you have, if you have the 5 server, then all your 100 request will be divided to each server, like 200, 200, 200, 200. Okay, so like that way each server can handle the 200 request easily. Okay, like they don't have to engage with the 1,000 request. Okay, so like that way, like what are the traffics or request is coming to the server. Okay, load balancer, what will it will do, it will divide all the traffic to all the servers. Okay, so that your application will work properly. I hope you understand what load balancer will do. It's kind of a service that will handle the load to your website or any application that you are creating. Okay, let's understand what is this Azure CDN, Content Delivery Network. By the definition, Azure CDN delivers content to the user from the nearest location for the faster performance, improving speed, performance, and reducing the latency. Okay, for an example, think of a pizza company with the branches in many cities. Okay, instead of delivering from one far from location, it sent from the nearest branch that make delivery faster. Okay, so this is just a general example, but you can think the similar way in the Azure. Okay, so using the content delivery network, when user is accessing your website and when they are like downloading the image or video or something, so what this content delivery network will do, it will give the data to the user from the nearest location. Okay, like if the data is present in the one server, maybe data is present in the multiple servers, but it will give the data to the user from its nearest server. Okay, so by the definition, you can understand this as what CDN deliver content to the user from the nearest location. Okay, so that's it. Like you don't have to go more much in depth. Okay, for this topics. This just a fine definition for you. Okay, a website load images and a video faster for the user in the different countries. Okay, so that's it. That is just a CDN. Okay, it will just improve the uh, performance. Okay, by giving the data to the user for from the nearest location. Then we have the Azure DNS. This is not even that much important for the exam, but it you might get one or two questions from this topic as well. By the definition, it is Azure DNS translate domain name into the IP addresses, host and manage domains in a Azure. So basically, when you are creating your app service, function app or any services, that time like you will get one IP address, and you will get one. Let me show you directly. Okay, then you will get understanding, because once I created one app service. Okay, like more kind of a my website. Okay, this is the app service, my travel list UI. Let me open it. It is not loading. Something is wrong. So I'm just telling, like whenever you are creating any app service, okay, that time like you will get one endpoint. Let me show you. This is the name of my app service. So Azure by default, like it will create one uh, endpoint for me. Okay, like I don't have to buy a different domain, .com or something. Okay, when I created the app service with this name, like it create the default domain like this, my travel list UI Azure website.net. If I open this, okay, this is loading. Okay, currently like it might not have the data. Okay, it is having. Okay, so this is a domain. Okay, so you have to understand, like when you are creating the app service or web app to the user, that time like you will get some default domain. And then now let's understand what is this Azure DNS. So Azure DNS translate domain names into the IP addresses. Okay, because when you have the domain, okay, but the domain is just the upper layer, right? That name, but deep down, like it is the IP address, so that anyone can access. When anyone is accessing my domain name, like they are actually calling the IP addresses of my application. Okay. Also, like for an example, when you type www.google.com, your browser doesn't understand the name. Okay, it understands the IP addresses. That's what I said. Okay. Also, using the Azure DNS, what you can do, like suppose I show you the default domain, right? But later when I can buy some other domain, okay, something else, I buy something like OpenAI, ChatGPT.com, anything like that is already purchased. Okay, that I can't not purchase, but I'm just giving you example. If I some purchase some domain, and if I want that particular domain to be attached to my application, okay, so using the Azure DNS I can configure those settings. Okay, let's move to next. Okay, we don't have anything. So that is all in the Azure networking. I hope you understand all the topics. Okay, and if I miss anything, then you can comment on this video. I will cover that part as well. But as per my understanding, for the Azure 900, that is sufficient. Okay, so let's go through again like what we have covered till now. We understood what is virtual network on the Azure, then we understood what is subnet, then we will understand what is network security rule. Okay, network security group or rule you can say. Okay, then we understood what is this private and public IP. Then we understood what is this networking, how we handle. Okay. Then we understood what is this peering gateway and express route. This is important as per the exam. Okay, then we go for the CDN, and then we checked out the DNS. Okay, so I think that's all are the sufficient topic for the Azure networking for the Agent 900 exam. Okay, if you have any question, you can put out in comments, and if you like this video, then you can please subscribe my channel and like this video. Thank you.